Time now to say hello to tonight's guest. Please welcome award-winning actor Chris O'Dowd and queen of the podcast, Abbey Clancy.
Welcome to the show, both of you. Chris, you've just moved house because you've been in LA, haven't you, for a while?
It's like he doesn't know what.
I know, is that what? Yeah, but yeah, you're back to the UK now. Happy to be, I'll say home, but I mean, it's not really
closer to home anyway. I mean, I was actually, I'm promoting a show at the moment, as you know. So I was in New York last week when the actual house move was happening. It was so unfortunate. My wife had to do it all on her own. It couldn't be moved. What are you going to do? You just couldn't move it. I felt really bad. But it's nice. It's nice being back. Loads of lovely drizzle.
Poor door.
Drizzle. Now, we have to talk about the Big Door Prize, Series 2. Now, I don't know whether you saw the first one, Abbey. It's quite complicated to explain. There's this machine, and the machine helps you realise your full potential.
Yeah.
That's it in a nutshell, isn't it?
That's exactly right.
I think you need to set the scene, though, because, you know, you'll be able to embellish that a bit.
Well, it is kind of a high concept, but it's a small town somewhere in Middle America. And in your local, let's say, your local Robert Dias, this machine arrives and it's...
Amazing.
Other hardware stores are available. But this local hardware store, this machine arrives. It's kind of the size of like a car racing game in an arcade. But it's got a screen. You step inside it and it asks you your social security number. You feed it 4 quarters or whatever.
I'd be lost there, because I don't know mine.
No, but you wouldn't be then probably in Middle America, Abbey. But if it was, if we had translated your national security number, whatever.
Yeah.
And you feed it some money and then it feeds you this little card, little blue card, and on it tells you what your true life potential is. And it starts off as a triviality for the town and nobody really pays that much attention to it. But then it starts coming true for people. And so, you know, for some reason, probably because they're looking for some kind of a big life change, they start following the path that this card is telling them. And that's what happens in the first season. And in the second season, which is starting tomorrow, we see the consequences of those big decisions.
Shall we have a look? Beautifully explained.
No bother.
Spot on.
Okay, does anybody here still care about our students? Dusty Hubbard?
I just wanted to say, I think it's pretty obvious what's happening here. I mean, the Morphos made everybody think about their dreams and what they can do to change their lives. But here at the school, we haven't changed anything, other than allocating an extra parking space for motorcycles.
That's for everyone.
I just think we need to revamp the curriculum. Instead of teaching the same old thing year after year, we should take into account the needs and wants of our students. We need to show them that there are endless possibilities out there in the world and endless possibilities within themselves.
Woo!
So, Chris, in Series 1...
That was excellent, wasn't it?
Brilliant. Dusty, he didn't seem too keen on Morpho, the machine that you've been telling us about. But he sounds like he's changed his tune a little bit there in Series 2.
Well, I think he's a cynic to begin with, and he's a local teacher, as you can kind of see. And he can't believe that anybody is believing this. And I think that big part of the show is that, the idea that people can buy into a crazy idea if it's engaging enough, which I've kind of noticed in America happening all the time and here. But we're getting to this point here, he's going through a midlife crisis, and it brings him to a stage where he and his wife kind of decide to take a little time apart. And I think that's why he seems pleased.
Nice.
He's at that point where it's like, this isn't working. She wants something else. She thinks her card says royalty on it. So she's like, this guy needs to get it. So and mine just says teacher, which I'm already doing. So there seems like there's nowhere else to go. So he's definitely pushing at the door of new openings, I suppose.
Yeah. So you know what the next question's got to be, both of you. If you went into your local hardware shop, you saw the machine, you put in the code, if you knew it, and what would the piece of paper say? Go on, Chris.
Retired rock star, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, because it'll give me the opportunity to become a rock star and then to retire, which would be nice.
Asking retired? Why retire?
Well, you could just chill and do the garden.
Yeah, I like it. That's good.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's an awful lot of travel, isn't it?
I was actually going to say pop star.
There you go. Not too late, Abbey.
I don't think anyone wants to see a near 40-year-old with 4 kids, like,
You'd be
in some
surprised.
glittery leotard bouncing around a stage. Do you?
Sold it to me, mate.
Yeah,
Sold it to me.
Take it.
Yeah, I think that was a good one.
Yeah. Chris, we know you, a lot of fans will know you from the IT crowd as well, where your special catchphrase in that was, have you tried turning it on and off again?
Oh, yeah.
Good advice. Still good advice.
tell me you've managed to weave it into this show, because it's set up perfectly for it.
Well, you know what? There is strangely at the end of the season, there's a scene where we're all standing around that machine and all the locals are looking at it and it's not working. And I do have a line that says something like, "You should probably turn it off." I didn't want to push it because it felt like it would take people out of the moment.
Love it.
But it would have been great advice because that's what usually works.
It is.
Yeah.
I find it works every time.
What would you be first?
Oh, God,
what would you be? What would you want to receive?
Oh, like old lady with lots of cats and plates and antiques.
That sounds incredible.
That's where I'm heading.
She is so close to this, by the way. You're nearly your dream. You're nearly achieving it.
I know.
2 more plates, you'll be there.
How many plates are we talking
It's
about?
a lot. It's a lot.
I like that.
Oh, you've got lots of plates.
Abby dreams about plates. Here we are.
Yeah.
What's on them?
My husband painted, like, Portuguese painted plates. One day, I was having a dream. My husband woke me up and I was just about to get this plate off the wall. And I didn't even get a look at it because he woke me up. And I was fuming all day. I didn't even see the plate.
She's more obsessed with than I am.
I'm opening up a can of worms here, aren't I?
Yeah, I love
I love the idea of him painting plates. Did he put them up in the ceiling?
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it, in the bed?
No, he
looking at the
doesn't do
plates.
it.
You better crack on.
The new series of The Big Door
Plates.
Prize is out on Apple TV Plus tomorrow.
OK, still to come. Tonight, we'll be chatting to Abbey about her new podcast, which celebrates people right at the top of their game.
Now, Abbey was, of course, the biggest success story to come out of the series, Britain's Next Top Model. I was obsessed. But so brilliant to see Anne, wasn't it, who obviously got a modelling job off the back. She's
Gorgeous, gorgeous. I love those kind of stories,
Yeah.
like real people, you know, and
Yeah.
happy
Yeah,
ending.
exactly. Yeah, no, it was great. Right, Abby, we've got to talk to you about another hugely successful podcast that you've got coming. Now, you already had your one with Pete, didn't you, called The Therapy Crouch. But this is a new podcast. You're going at it alone this time, solo, which would be very different for you. You're going to be interviewing people and find out what makes them tick.
Yeah.
That's right. I mean, tell us kind of a bit about it and, you know, how, I suppose, the idea came about.
So, obviously, I do my podcast, Therapy Crouch with Pete, and we had a doctor on for just one episode, and he delivered all my babies, the most incredible, like, doctor for women, and he offered to help one woman a week, and I was like, oh, my God. We had such an amazing response by people who were going, thank you for talking about, like, your fertility journey and everything, and so I thought, oh, my God, why don't we do another podcast where we can enrich people's lives, motivate them, help them, and that's where it was born. And Pete's like, so I don't enrich you when you're talking to me? Do you not feel enriched when we're on the Therapy Crouch together? But it's a bit of a selfish mission because it's kind of people who I'm inspired by. You know, when I'm at home and I put a podcast on, I'm like, what can I get out of this? What can I learn? What motivates me? And, you know, who's inspiring? So that's kind of what it is, Exhibit A.
It is, it's a very different listen to Therapy Crouch, isn't it? But the first one is phenomenal. But let's talk about the title first, because it's a great title. Why did you land on that one then, Exhibit A?
Well, Exhibit A is kind of a bit of a play on words. It was like convince me, because there's some people who I've got on, I'm like, I don't believe all that, you know, like kind of hippy-dippy stuff or whatever, you know. So I just thought it was a kind of great way to showcase people's lives, and we came up with that, and the A, obviously, for Abbey.
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Of episode 1, you wanted someone who'd really connect with the audiences, didn't you? So who is it? And, you know, why did you go for this individual?
So the first guest we had on was Mo Gaudat, and I think the one thing people universally are striving for is happiness and to be unstressable. He's got this new book out, and, you know, this is a guy who is one of the most intelligent minds on earth. So he was the CBO of Google X. You know, he had it all, the money, cars, everything, and then he tragically lost his son. And completely turned his life around, and he's on this mission to help others. So I thought, you know, I am the most stressed out person in the world. You know, help me, Mo. You know, what can I learn from him? And, you know, we just had the most incredible chat, and he was wonderful.
He was wonderful. It was really sad, wasn't it?
So
Because
sad,
the story, like, you can't even imagine, as we were saying, I don't know how I'd cope.
No, ironically, you know, if something that tragic happened to me, I don't think I could ever be happy again.
But he said he's at his happiest.
Yeah.
What was the main kind of nugget of advice that you took away from Mo?
From him, he was kind of like, you know, we're trading with the most valuable asset, and that's minutes. You know, minutes of your life. And if you've got like a negative thought, which I've actually been doing every day, like this morning, it was chaos in the house. A whole, you know, tub of milk got emptied over the floor. The dogs are running all over my new rug.
Was it Pete?
Yeah, Pete was in the gym. Can you believe? He's on a mission.
was where?
He was in the gym.
I've never ever seen him in the gym.
Exactly.
Wow.
He's on his, you know, he's not feeling enriched, is he? So he's not in the gym. Anyway, so I just thought, you know, I'm lucky. I've got a happy house. I've got my pets who I love. I've got my healthy kids. And, you know, just a simple step to turning, you know, kind of a negative into a positive, which takes time and effort, by the way. Does really help, I think.
I don't know how much you can tell us, but, like, kind of who else you got coming on, or what type of kind of guests can we look forward to?
So we've got so many different guests who are all at the top of the game, from sports stars to doctors to Hollywood stars. Not you, but you can come on.
We both got insulted in that as well, by the way. Sports stars, Hollywood stars, not been invited.
But she slightly shaked her head, or both of us.
No.
I know, yeah.
That's fair.
That's fine. We're
But
past it.
just people who are at the top of the game, who are on a mission.
Yeah.
You know.
Did you find that, you know, because they are people that are such high achievers, did they all have kind of something in common that you could pin on all of them?
Definitely, like, you know, people from all different walks of life who've started from nowhere, people who have been educated in the best schools in the world, they've all had this kind of tunnel vision, focus, like, and just get up and do it. You know, that was a big takeaway.
It's the drive, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think Abbey was kind of talking there, Chris, about kind of the advice that she got from Mo. Is there any kind of advice that you've been either given or taken from, you know, podcasts over the years or books or whatever it may be that you could share?
I remember I was doing an acting class once, and the acting teacher said the problem with the bill is that everybody acts like policemen. And really, when you've got the costume on, everybody believes you. And you don't need to act like a policeman after that. And I think, in a way, they've brought that forward into all of the roles that I do. You know, you have to act against type, I suppose.
I love that reference of the bill. That is amazing.
It's a classic. Absolute classic.
Well, the first episode of Abbey's podcast, Exhibit A, is available now wherever you get your podcasts. It's really good.
Chris, got to ask you quickly, talking of love affairs, big Liverpool fan, aren't you?
Yes,
massive game tomorrow night. Got a son you're going to be watching?
I'm going to be watching. It's been a tricky couple of weeks. I feel like since we dropped the Irish goalkeeper Kelleher, things have kind of gone south.
A little bit, yeah, you're right.
We did that little bit of green in there.
Abbey's like, ask me.
I feel like I'm on Match of the Day.
I've no idea what they're talking about. No idea.
I'm a Liverpool fan.
Exactly, yeah, you've got to chuck it in.
Now then, DJ asks Abbey, I love the therapy crouch. I want to know, would Abbey ever do Soccer Aid? God, that's a big jump, isn't it? From
Soccer Aid?
Yeah. Playing football for charity, basically. Would you ever do it?
I'd do anything for charity, but I don't know
She's in, folks.
I don't know how valuable I would be. Maybe I could be a ref or...
Yeah.
A ref,
the manager.
Manager, you've got that in the bag, definitely. Well, thank you to you both for coming on tonight. Appreciate it.
We'll be back tomorrow with Imelda Staunton, Will Young and Nikki Fox will be here for Watchdog. Have a lovely evening.
Good night.
Ta-ra.